Summer's here in full force, it's hot outside, and you're probably dehydrated. So let me introduce you to our top selling electrolyte product, Core Hydrate. Right off the bat, flavor is a key selling point for this product. They're all very good. This is my personal favorite, strawberry margarita. I like the sweet and salty interplay. The best selling flavors overall are probably the Fun Sweets collaboration flavors, but there's 6 flavors, so there's something there for everyone. And crucially, they get this amazing flavor profile done without any added sugar. I adore the mineral profile in here. I could not have written it any better myself. There's enough sodium for oral rehydration, but there's actually more potassium per stick, per serving, than there is even sodium. So sodium, which is to say salt, you might have heard a lot of ills ascribed to salt. People will say, oh, the high blood pressure, maybe bloating. None of those are true if you get adequate potassium, but most Americans don't. That's why there's more potassium than sodium in here. Also, there's a generous allotment of calcium and magnesium. There's 139 milligrams of magnesium in here across 5 sources. And there's even concentrates, trace minerals, and zinc to boot. So it's not just overweighted in one mineral at the expense of the others. You may have seen LMNT marketed on the internet. They pronounce it element. That's 1,000 milligrams of sodium. There's no potassium and only 60 magnesium. So there's more than double the magnesium in here than versus LMNT. And most Americans are deficient in magnesium. If you guys have watched my content for any period of time, I'm constantly harping on the need to take magnesium. It's depleted by stress. It's depleted by exhaustive exercise. It's depleted by inadequate sleep. And then obviously it's depleted by intense exercise as well. If you notice that the cramp that you might be getting is happening after the workout bout is completed, and it's a twitching style cramp that typically is indicative of inadequate magnesium. If the cramp happens during the workout and it's a tetanic style of cramping, meaning a static, the muscle stays shortened, that's typically indicative of the need for more sodium. Either way, the product has you covered. Finally, the forms of the minerals are amazing. So calcium, sodium, and magnesium, the chief source of all those is a carbonate or bicarbonate salt. This is awesome for sports performance. That's the third reason why I love this product, because those carbonates break down in your body when they release the minerals into bicarbonates. And bicarbonates have a really cool effect on work output or endurance and anti-fatigue because they help mop up hydrogen ions, which is to say they buffer these fatigue byproducts. What lactic acid really is lactate bonded to hydrogen ions. Both of those get kicked out of the cell, and the body has to sop up these excess hydrogen ions, and bicarbonates do that. And then they get harmlessly broken down into H2O, which is to say water. You're sweating, you can get rid of the water, and see which you exhale. So that's why if you've ever seen people on the internet talk about the ergogenic or performance improving effects of sodium bicarbonate, baking soda, that's the mechanism, and you're getting 3 of those forms in here. All the mineral forms they use are bioavailable and balanced. Again, with the 5 forms of magnesium, for example, because it's spread out, you're less likely to have a laxative effect from the magnesium. And then again, the third leg of my stool here that makes this my preferred electrolyte is the performance benefits. In addition to the bicarbonates, which we just talked about, and the nice mineral allotments that you're getting, you also get Synactive. Part of Synactive is a form of ginseng. Ginseng has been shown to increase VO2 max. Synactive also increases glycogen replenishment. You get taurine, which will help direct these electrolytes. Taurine helps control the electrical activity around working muscles, controls extracellular fluid balance. That's why it's called an osmolyte. And has Elevate-ATP, which helps increase ATP stores through a mechanism, by the way, that's independent of something like creatine. So you're getting an additional benefit there. There's a peak power output study on Elevate-ATP, for example. So all of that is contained in these tiny little powerhouse hydration sticks that taste amazing. Again, it's our top seller. It's hot. You need it. Check it out today.